Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of the Authors Hub here in Learners Hub. Yes, guys. And today we're very honored to present everyone with our special guest, the author When the World Went Inside by Miss Charlie Golding. All right, round of applause.
Thank you.
Welcome, Charlie.
Welcome, Charlie.
Hi.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Charlie, congratulations, because I've read that your book is included in the Onwards and Upwards psychology list as a go-to book for anxious children. So congratulations.
Thank you. That was a real honor. Thank you very, very much. That was,
Nice.
a real credit for the book. I was very excited.
Okay. Charlie, how's your day today? Very busy, or we have a nice weather today, actually?
It was beautiful weather. I have 3 small children, so I made the most of being able to be out and about, out in the sunshine. The kids
Wow.
got their scooters. We went to the skate park. It felt like, embracing normality. It was wonderful,
Yes,
actually.
soon.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a really
So,
lovely
Charlie,
activity with the kids.
Yes, actually, and we're very happy to having you because first and foremost, we would like to say a big thank you for giving us a chance
Yes.
here, being with us together here in
Lovely.
Learners Hub,
Thank you. Thank you.
and we feel honored having you. So, Charlie, what inspires you to write a book?
Well, as I said, I've got 3 small children, and at the beginning of this year, my son was only 3 years old, and none of us knew what was happening. The grown-ups didn't know what was happening, so it was all very, very new for the kids. So one day, my little boy refused to go on a bike ride with me, which is incredibly unusual for him.
Mhm.
And after he finished crying and no, I'm not leaving the house, I realized that it was because he was scared of this virus, this new virus that he'd heard his parents talking about. And he didn't know the difference between a virus that he could wash his hands and
Yep.
stay safe from, and like this big scary boogie monster lurking behind the
true.
bushes ready to jump out at him. So I realized I've got a storytelling background, been under wraps for a while, but maybe, just maybe, I can write something down for him that's going to help him to understand. So I did. I wrote that down, and I just scribbled a few drawings and wrote this out. And once I'd read it to them, I thought, oh, maybe there's something here. Maybe I'll make this something a bit more that I can share.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah, Charlie, because as a parent, I can say that your book is it's very relatable, especially very timely. I have a daughter, so it's something that would be a springboard for a discussion, not only to my daughter, but for my students in Learners Hub or even in
Fabulous.
classrooms. Yep.
Great.
What else? So my daughter loves drawing. I personally like the drawing and how the story, it's very simple, reassuring the children. So yeah, we love it. Thanks for
That's
this.
wonderful. I'm so glad that she enjoys it. That's really important.
And Charlie, it's very timely because in Learners Hub we have a lot of parents right now. Some having also hard time explain to them what will
Yeah.
be what will be the action this pandemic. So this is very good actually. From the moment the cover is very good. From the
Yeah.
moment he saw it,
Everything.
Need some humor.
everything
Yeah.
because both of me as work as a healthcare worker here is a big help for us because how do you explain with the children? So
Yes.
soap here, the tissues,
The
awesome. I love
tissues,
it. I love it a lot.
the rainbow, the virus.
Yeah.
Well
Well,
done.
they're all the things that all of those items on the front cover. They're all those individual things that are going to be grained in our minds from this pandemic. So it's quite helpful actually that the shape of the coronavirus is really, instantly distinguishable. Everyone, even, I've
Yeah.
heard from parents and grandparents of young children before they've even been told what the book is, they've picked it up and gone, oh, it's a coronavirus book.
Yeah.
So those things, and we all went along the streets and went for our hunt for the rainbows and we
Yeah.
all heard about the toilet paper saga.
Yeah.
So I needed to put that in for the parents, probably.
That's right.
But most of all, first, what's do you have a particular author that you also follow who also inspires you?
An author,
Yeah.
well, I guess I've remember the books that I loved as a
Mm-hmm.
child. And I tried to, ever since becoming a parent 6.5
Yeah.
years ago, I've been really enjoyed bringing those books into our household. Um, for me, oh, you just can't go past the Julia Donaldson and the Axel Scheffler
Oh.
combination. You
Yeah.
know, there's so many amazing authors, but for me and everything that those two go together, I don't need to flick through it. If I see it in a bookshop and I
In the
haven't bought
bookshop.
it yet, it's mine. It's going straight in my bag. It's just
Yeah.
brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually, Charlie, most of the children right now, there's a lot of distractions happening,
Mm-hmm.
and us in Learners Hub, our main goal is yeah, to have a good what do you call this habit in studying and also in reading,
Reading.
because
Yeah.
right now there's a lot of the gadgets are there. All of the parents are also complaining. Please, some of them are not following them because you know there's a lot of distractions going on. So
Distractions. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so the first things first, from the moment we saw this one, right?
Yeah.
Actually, by next week, the school we're gonna open. Some school are gonna open. So expect a lot, Charlie. That's a lot of inquiries we're gonna call you right now because we're gonna present here to all of our students
Beautiful.
here. And then
Thank you.
yes, and most of the time, being because we have a background, our parents is so strict, me and Maria knows it. And then how do you tell to your kids, especially your children, to
Yeah.
how to love reading?
Reading. Yeah.
I don't think that's something that you can teach. I don't think that's something that you can force. I just think
Yeah.
with so many things with learning, it's about modeling it. And I
Yes.
recently saw a quote, and forgive me because I don't remember it exactly, but it was like reading to your kids at night shouldn't be a chore, it shouldn't be a duty. Instead, it should sound like chocolate because
Wow.
the if you can create that bubble of family
Yeah.
or whatever your personal circumstances are when you're reading together, it just has the ability, like absolutely no other medium can, just to completely transport you out of your immediate situation and to take you somewhere wherever that book is. So it can be educational, it can be magical, it can be all of those sort of things,
Yes.
and books just have that power and always have done. And the gift, it is a gift of reading, because if you can not, it's an encouraging and it's a demonstrating of your own readership. But if you can give that gift of reading to your children, it's something that I loved reading as a young child, and
Yep.
I read less now that I'm a mother of three, let me tell you, but I absolutely love it. It's an incredible
That's
thing
nice.
to do.
Yeah,
So
That's
for
really
me, yeah,
lovely.
it's enjoying
yeah,
that family experience
Enjoying.
and making. I still remember climbing into bed with my dad and having those bedtime
Wow.
stories.
Mm,
That was
yeah.
a
yes.
really important part of our relationship, and I love doing that with my kids now. I'm sure you're
That's
the
Wow.
same.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's good to
Yes.
hear. Actually, that's how I remember my mom, especially when I was still a kid. She always started telling me a bedtime stories. I'm a big fan
Yes.
also of Charlie Dickens. Charlie Dickens is, from
Yeah,
the way back then.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Some big
especially
words in those books.
yeah, it's a good bond actually in the family. And I hope that hobbits it won't
Yes.
be erasing all the
Yes.
generation right now and all the millennials
Not a
right now.
chance. Not a
Yeah, not a
chance.
Mm.
That's
chance.
around to stay.
They will
Yes.
bring it, yep, until they have their own family or family of their own.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they will do that.
generations and generations, that's part of it.
That's true.
And the same stories, like I was saying, the ones that I loved as a child. Admittedly, I'm a bit too old for Julia Donaldson,
Yes.
but the Mrs. Large family, and Peace at Last, all of those books, I mean, they're seminal. You can still find them in Aldi every so often, and I remember
Yeah.
them as a child, and I remember them word for word as well.
Wow.
No, that's really lovely, Charlie. Um,
Yeah.
I'm reading this with Elaine, my daughter, and one of her favorite page is about your main character, Theo. So, Charlie, we're just curious. Yeah. As a reader, it's something that I want to ask. As a writer, do you base your characters on people you know in real life? Who's Theo?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite a complex answer, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the character of Theo, you'll see Theo's got the spiky ISO hair.
Yep.
He is
That's
modeled in, that's him. He is modeled entirely on my son, who
oh,
was 3 when I wrote the book.
yep.
So that's all Eli. But he was the one that was encouraging me to write the book
Mm-hmm.
because he was the one that needed the help and the explanation. So the character in the story itself tells his tale. Theo, Theo was the name of our first daughter, who unfortunately is not with us any longer.
Oh,
So
yep.
the book is dedicated to Theo.
To
The book is
Theo.
about Theo. Yeah, the book is the reason for. She is the reason
Oh,
for the book, I should say.
Oh,
wow.
that's nice. Very moving, Charlie.
Yes.
Thank you. That's another reason why the book means so much
It's
to me.
very special.
But yeah.
And then, Charlie, do you have any plans of writing a sequel, perhaps?
Yeah, that's a good
Well,
question.
Or writing When the World
I
Went Inside, a sequel?
Yeah.
I have changed my mind so many times about this. So many times I've just thought, oh, is it, has the room has the idea got any legs? Have people just, so COVIDed out that they don't want to think about it anymore?
Yep.
So I feel like, as far as COVID is concerned, what I want to address, everything that I think is really essential for children to understand and
Yep.
to feel
Oh, yeah.
safe and secure,
Yes.
I feel like it's dealt with. I feel like kids have been so amazingly attuned with absorbing the information that we've given them. But I also think we need to recognize that what kids have gone through this year is unlike
Very difficult.
any other children in a couple of generations that have had their lives turned upside down. And I think that's possibly where our next pandemic might be, that is something we need to be so cautious of and so careful of. And that's why, a lot of the book is about Theo finding fun in lockdown. Because we need to focus on the good things that we can do. It can't all be bad,
Yes,
because we
yes.
can't live like that.
No.
So
Exactly.
I really wanted us to find fun in the book and deal with our mental health. So the last page offers information and advice on what to do inside and how to look after our brains, because our brains are so very important. So I think the next book, because I think there will be a next book now.
Next book, yep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think that's going to be about the mental health aspect and moving forward and finding a character that isn't necessarily COVID, but a character who's lived through something.
Yes.
And who has to find the tools to help ask the questions that they might be, still lingering in there. I mean, kids can dwell on things for such a long time before finding the words to talk to grown-ups. And if we can give kids those words nice and early on and give kids those tools in the medium of a book that they can then read with their kids, with their parents, and then springboard into further conversations, then hopefully we can do everything as parents and as carers and as teachers that's within our power to reduce the impact that this virus and this lockdown has had on our lives. So that's where I think I would like to take the story.
Oh,
to focus on that.
I can't wait. Well, we'll wait for that. We'll wait for that, Charlie.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll wait for that. Looking forward.
Yeah. Looking forward for that, Charlie. And most of all, Charlie, most of us are new to this pandemic. Actually,
We're not.
It
No
happens
one's ready
100 years.
yet.
No one's ready.
No one's
Because
ready.
being a healthcare worker here and also before I worked before in abroad, we need something. We need something positive right now. So
thank you.
yeah. So we're very honored having you here, and also, does anyone? I'll give you a chance right now to invite everyone to grab a copy of your book.
Oh, Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I think for me, the most important thing with writing the book was that I made it accessible for as many people as possible. So I've priced the book as low as I can, but it is $20.
Yep.
And because obviously it's not free to print. But I'm also aware that I wanted to make it accessible to even people that weren't able to spend that. So it is available audio version on my website. So please head to when the world went inside book.com and check it out, and you can either purchase a copy, you can find some free printables, there's some other free resources on there, and you can just watch the video with the kids being read if that's what you like as well. But I would love the idea that kids, I can't wait for my kids when they're in high school just to go in and see what they remember of this and see what conversations they have in their classrooms, and to take this in as a show and tell when they're 16, 17 years old and go, this book, we lived through this. Can you imagine? And just seeing what comes from those conversations. So I think it's a really good thing to have in a kid's memory box, to be honest.
Yes,
Wow.
that's right. How cool is that? Like this book, my mom writes this book. So I'm really proud about it, Charlie.
And Charlie, I'm very proud of it because you give us some author
Yeah,
autograph.
dedication. Thank you.
Of
To Learners
course.
Hub. Thank you.
Always happy to do that. I think that adds a little bit of personal nature to the book. So yeah, if anyone is interested in the book and you'd like a signed version, just give me a shout. I'm happy to do that for anyone that asks.
Awesome.
It's really different, reading the book and knowing the author, having a conversation, knowing more about you, Charlie. So thank you. And maybe our
Yeah.
last question for you would be, well, last two questions. What's your favorite and least favorite thing about being an author? So two things.
Well, well, I am very much operations manager by day and children's author by
Wow.
By
night.
night.
So, and a mother of three. So I'm
Yeah.
busy.
Busy, very busy.
My absolute favorite thing about writing the book has been the connection. So it's just opened up so many avenues of conversations with parents and grandparents and teachers and children that have made the book part of their lives. And it seems to be a book that people keep reading again and again.
Yes.
So the feedback that I've had has really been, I'm word perfect on the book because my kid asks for it every night. And that is more than I ever could have asked for. In terms of there being something negative about it, well, this is my hobby. If there was anything negative about it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Simple as that. So
That's true.
I'm in it for the love of this.
Oh, we
Do
share the
whatever
same
you
thing.
love.
Yeah.
That's it. That's true.
That's it. You
We'll
have
support
to.
that. We'll support that, Charlie.
Yeah. Always do your passion, actually. Always do your passion. And also your calling, actually. Because passion for me, it's overrated. But the thing is, you find your calling, and that's it. Writing a book and also giving positive outcome to all the people out there, especially for the kids out there. All right.
So
Okay.
important.
Yes.
Thanks.
Charlie, any shout out that you like to send all over the actually we will shown this one all over the world, the Philippines and Asia and here in
Philippines.
Australia.
Well, the thing that I found about COVID, which has been a negative and a positive, is that it has affected so many children, so many families. So it's been this crazy connection around the world of families and children that I never would have met before. So I reckon just bravo to all the kids out there that have
well done.
had their lives turned upside down. I mean, you guys rock this, honestly. Just
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. It means a lot to us. Okay.
So thank you so much, Charlie. Thanks for your time. I know you've been really busy, like TV guestings, reading the story to schools, to local councils, and having interviews like this one. So thanks so much, Charlie.
It's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure that people think that the book is worth talking about. And for me, that's just the icing on the cake. It makes everything worth it. So Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll wait for
Thank
your
you.
next book and for that chat
Awesome.
again, Charlie.
Yeah.
We'll
All
see you
right,
next
guys.
time, Charlie.
See you next time. All right, guys. That's all for now. By the way, my name is Bibo Santos, together with,
Marian Santos.
and thank you for calling us here in Authors Hub, here in Learners Hub, because your mind is an asset.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.